Hi guys, today I'm going to do a Primavera P6 professional client install in a standalone environment. This will mean that we'll install an Oracle XC database manually. Afterwards I'll install the P6 client and I'll load the scripts for the database from the DB setup. Okay, let's go at it. First I'm going to install the Oracle XC database. This is included in the client and it's a small standalone version of the database. Okay, we'll go with the standard options. This is requesting for the sys and the system passwords. And we're going to go install. So this will install on, it will listen on port 1521. And it will have Enterprise Manager on the 8080. Okay, let's go install. This will take a few minutes. Okay, the database is installed. Let's now install the P6 Professional client. I'm going to launch the installer through setup accent. This will check if the environment has the prerequisites installed. These are the HTML, .NET Framework, Java, and Windows installer. On my system they're already installed, but if they weren't, the installer would install them automatically and then launch the P6 Pro MSI. I'm going to go with an advanced install because I'm using a 64-bit version of Windows and I want to install it in a location without the x86 brackets. This path is known to cause certain issues when connecting to the database if the brackets are included. So let's change this to Oracle Primavera P6 Professional. Okay. next and install. That should take about a minute, and after it's finished we should have the install ready. In the meantime, I'm going to check if the port is active for the Oracle XE database. Okay, if in netstat is not showing, we could check with resource monitor and go on network, and let's see if we have anything listening. Yes, we have TNS listener. That's perfect. Let's see if the path variable includes the path to the XE database, and yes it does. So we have all the commands for Oracle XE. I'm going to do try to log in SQL Plus. So I'm going to SQL Plus this at XE as this DBA. Okay, so we're in. Okay, this is created as expected. After the P6 client is installed, we are going to install the database for the standalone version of P6. For this, we're going to use the db setup batch file. But before we run it, we need to run one more script beforehand. This is the manual script before install SQL. We can check it beforehand. It basically grants an execute to the system user and a select. Okay. Install. Just going to execute that script. We'll configure the connection to the database. So, and the installer for P6 is almost ready. We'll configure the connection for the database in just a second. I'm going to go cancel for the moment, and we'll configure it at the end. Okay, so the P6 professional has finished. That's perfect. And in the meantime, I'm just going to do in a new notepad to run any script in SQL Plus. You just need to do an add path to the script and the name of the script. Okay, wonderful. So now we can install the actual database for P6. For this, we'll go into the database folder, and we're gonna run the db setup batch file. This will launch a Java application that can install the Primavera P6 database. So we have the option to choose between Oracle and SQL. We're going to go with Oracle. Now we need to insert the credentials for the database. The host name is Primavera. The database host port is 1521, and the SID for the database is XC. Okay. You could also check if the database is active by doing the DNS ping XC beforehand. Okay. Everything is okay here. Okay, so now we're going to create the table space. This will take about a minute. Okay, wonderful. And now we need to create the schema owners for the application. The ADM user is the administrator and the schema that holds all the tables and the views for P6. The the priv user is a privileged user who actually has access to the certain views on the ADM user's schema. So users will mainly connect with these users and get data in the client. The pub user is a security measure used by Primavera. Actually, P6 Professional will connect to the pub user. With the pub user, it will check or get the credentials for the privileged user from a table that it has access to view, and afterwards it will connect with the priv user. And the background job user runs certain background jobs. Okay, I'm going to set the admin password and leave the currency as US dollar, and let's go install. It will take about a minute to install everything. Okay, the install has finished, and if we go next and now finish, we have an active database. We can now connect to the P6 Professional client by going to Oracle Primavera P6 and P6 Professional. At this point, we need to configure a connection to the PMDB database. So this is a standard database connection added by the installer. Let's go configure and select the driver type, which is Oracle in this case. The connection string can be done as an easy connection string, but I'm just going to use the SID. The username needs to be pubuser with the password set when installing the database schemas. And now we should be able to connect. Wonderful. And after inserting the credentials, we have connected to the Oracle database. We'll receive a standard message that the industry was not selected. This can be configured afterwards by going to admin and admin preferences, and under the industry tab select the appropriate industry to make that message disappear. Okay, and this is all that needs to be done to install P6 standalone in a Windows 64 environment. Thank you.